Nigerian financial experts say the West African nation is likely to lose an estimated $1.5 billion as a result of the postponement of last Saturday's presidential and parliamentary elections. For financial analysis of the postponement implications, VOA's Peter Clottey sat down with Bismarck Rewane, a Nigerian economist and CEO of financial derivatives in Lagos.
Well, it has so many elements. Back of the envelope analysis, we're talking about $10 to $12 billion, which is about almost 2.5% of the GDP of this country. It is significant in terms of, it's not the growth rate, but I'm just talking about, you break it down into direct costs, consequential costs, opportunity costs, reputation costs, and also disruption effect. So when you take all of these things to put together, but back of the envelope analysis, there's 365 days in a year. The GDP is $427 billion. It comes to about $1.12 billion. That's the cost, direct cost. Then you take the INEC cost of trying to do the same thing, move the materials back and forth. So INEC budgeted $189 billion for the election. Divide that by 4, so you have times 2. You end up with about $200 million, right? Then you take the consequential cost. I had already booked a hall for a wedding, paid. I've printed invitation cards. I've done so many things. Now I have to do it all over again, right? So there is that consequential cost, which is, right? Not to talk of those who have traveled and have to come back and go back again, right? And that's what we call disruption cost, right? And then the fact that I had planned to do some other things before, right? With my downtime. I will not do those things. Neither will I actually vote. When you put it all together, one is a factor of the other, and it comes to about almost $10 to $12 billion, and that's significant.
There are concerns that the Naira could take a hit, an anticipated hit. What are the financial implications?
The political risk premium on the economy is high. And the political risk premium always plays out in the value of the currency. So it's too early. If on Sunday they reported riots and all sorts of things, there are things that happen, then, but if it goes smoothly, and we pray to God that it does happen, then we shouldn't start crying wolf. But it is a possibility that this could happen.
You know, people were moving back and forth to go and vote. Will there be any financial implications of this, particularly with state-to-state commerce?
I'm not too sure. There is a financial hit, but whether it's material is another issue. The reality is that 84 million registered voters. Let us take a factor of 10% of that, and take a factor of the 10% of the 10%, right? But let us say 8 million people, maybe nomadic voters, right? Of the nomadic voters, let us say 50% of the nomadic voters would have moved across states, right? Mainly in the southeast and in the north side. So let us say 4 million people, right, at best would have moved, some of them diaspora. It has serious implications. 4 million people is the equivalent of the total civil servants in this country, both federal and state put together. So if you move all the civil servants out of, all of them were to move and go back home, that is the equivalent of the number of people that would have gone home to go and vote. And when I talk about civil servants, I'm talking about state, federal, and local government.
Some Nigerians are calling for a national dialogue to talk about the way elections are administered in this country. What are your thoughts?
Nigerians need to discuss a lot of things. But the truth is that let us not confuse a management problem for a political problem or a revenue problem, which is the big problem here. We keep on thinking that Nigeria has a revenue problem. The reason why we got into recession and stayed in the recession for some time was because of the revenue. Yes, the revenue compounded it, but fundamentally, underneath this, there's a management problem.
Well, that was VOA's Peter Clottey speaking with Bismarck Rewane, a Nigerian economist and CEO of financial derivatives in Lagos.